I feel like I need a little like intro, like theme song or something. This week is going to be a short one. I talked last week about creating mini challenges and curriculums and things like that for yourself. And so this week I was just going to share with you what I'm doing that I actually started. I started a curriculum February 1st. I've been on a workout thing since July, but really tuned in since October. I have been doing, let's see, I got a little kitty visitor. Come on. Okay, so like my workout is a challenge for me right now. I'm getting ready to start 75 Hard March 1st through May 15th, which next week I'm going to talk about 75 Hard and all that goes into that. So I don't really want to talk about that, but I've been trying to like prepare myself for that. So I'm doing like half of the things that you do in 75 Hard. Here's the kitty. So basically I'm doing a 45-minute workout every day, and I'm drinking a gallon of water, and I'm trying to read 10 pages every day. The workout and the water is I'm pretty good at. The reading 10 pages, not always, because especially on the weekends, I end up getting into TV and I just stay up because I normally read before I go to bed. And so what happens like on Friday night is I will stay up too late watching TV and then I just go straight to sleep. I don't read. So it's my fault. But once I start 75 Hard, I'm going to have to do that every day. So right now I'm working out. I'm lifting weights 4 times a week and for 45 minutes. And then if I get done with my weightlifting, I walk on the treadmill at the gym. And then on the other days, so that's 4 days, 5 and 6 days, I'm walking 45 minutes. 7th day, I'm doing yin yoga for 45 minutes just to stretch because, I've been sore from working out. So that's what I'm doing right now. And then starting March 1st, I'm going to start 75 Hard, which is a 75-day challenge. So that's going to be my next little challenge. My biggest challenge lately has been to getting my butt to the gym 4 days a week, no matter what. Now my curriculum. So I used to do this like more and I fell off. I always read, so it's just like whatever, I just kind of mood read. But so with my podcast, I wanted to start a book club because I have all these classic books that I've wanted to read. So I was like, well, how can I incorporate that into podcasts? I love books, but I don't want the podcast to only be about books. So I'm doing read a classic and then do a podcast on it the last week of the month. So I'm reading one classic book a month. So I have my curriculum. This is for the next 8 weeks. I actually have it for the next 16, but I'm just going to show you what I'm doing for the next 8 weeks. So I'm reading one classic a month. This month's classic is Brave New World. Next month's will be Animal Farm. And then I'm reading that once a month. And then I'm reading one book on religion and one book on business or money once a month. So also depending on how thick the books are, because if they're fatties, then I will let them go for a couple months. And so this month I'm trying to finish this Charlie Kirk Sabbath book this month because I started it in January and I haven't finished it yet. And then I'm also reading, this is what I've been trying to do my 10 pages on, Gary V's Day Trading Attention. It's about building your brand and social media. I actually have a money book for next month that I want to read. And then the religious book that I have next month, I think is probably going to run for a couple months because it's a chunker. And then, so that's kind of part of my curriculum. And then I'm reading Rudyard Kipling is a poet. And so I'm reading one poem once a week and kind of reading it and then doing some research on it just to go a little deeper and that kind of thing. So pretty much for February and March, I'm going to stay with Kipling. I already have the poems that I'm going to read through the end of March. So I'm going to stick with this. And then I'm also reading one short story a week. And for the next 2 months through March also, I'm reading Clarice Lispector's stories. So I already have the stories picked out that I'm going to read for the next through February and March. And so and then I'm reading the stories and then doing some research or analysis. See it. You can always find a YouTube video where someone talks about a poem or a short story where you can go deeper into it and the meaning and all that, or just try to find stuff online that just goes deeper. So you're not just reading a poem and then putting the book down but that's like, you're actually studying it. I did this before with Sylvia Plath's poetry book. I did this for a while with hers, and I was like really diving deep, and I have notes on her poems, and I watched YouTube videos on people like analyzing her poems and going deeper into her poems and that kind of thing. So I've done that before with poetry. I love poetry, and I have a lot of poetry books, so I thought going through one poem a week. I usually do Kipling on Tuesdays, and I do Clarice Lispector on Thursdays. And then I'm trying to read, I have how many pages I need to read each week for my classic to make sure that I get it done before I need to record the book club podcast for it. And then the other days I'm reading either religion or business or money. And then once I start 75 Hard, I have to read 10 pages of a nonfiction book every day. So I'll probably be getting through those business money books a little bit faster than what I had before. So that's my curriculum that I have for the next 8 weeks. I'm really hoping that I stick with it once I start 75 Hard. I'm a little bit nervous about doing anything else besides 75 Hard once I get in the mode. So I'm hoping to stick with the curriculum. If not, I'll just put it on hold for 75 days and pick it back up in probably June 1st. Because once I get done with 75 Hard, the last 2 weeks of May, I'm going to just give myself some chill and not be so strict on everything. So we'll talk more about that next week. I want to go over everything with 75 Hard, and I'll give you like the podcast stuff where it comes from, Andy Frisella and all that jazz. Another thing that I'm doing that's not really like a challenge or curriculum, but it's something that I've started and been doing for a while. I have a whole morning routine, and I do read a devotional every morning. So it's usually just like a couple pages of a devotional. I'll have a 30-day. I think I just started a 90-day one. February 1st? Yes, February 1st. I started a 90-day one. But I'm also reading in a chapter of the Bible every morning also. And that's part of my morning routine. And I follow this podcast called Heart Dive 365. So I'm in, what am I reading now? Judges. I'm in Judges. I'll pick like chapter 10 or whatever that I'm reading on Judges. And they're in Heart Dive 365 has a podcast. Sometimes they do 2 or 3 chapters at a time, but I will just go in and watch the chapter that I'm reading that day. And it really helps me to understand it. They go a little deeper in explaining things, so you're understanding everything more. And I have the new translation. So I feel like that's like the easiest Bible to understand. Like when I was growing up, it was like the King James, and I was like, I don't understand anything that's going on in this Bible. And then I had the NIV for a while, and then now I have the new translation. Nope. Take it back. That's one of the Bibles that I have, but I have another one. It's I can't remember what it is. It's the She Reads Truth Bible, I think. But it's like I can't remember all the names of the different Bible things. But so anyways, the point is I read a chapter of the Bible every morning with my morning routine. So that's another little mini challenge that I'm doing. I don't beat myself up if I miss a day, because sometimes like I sleep in on Saturdays. Saturday's my day of rest, so I do not beat myself up if I don't do it on Saturday. I just pick it back up Sunday morning with my morning routine. So that's my little like challenges, mini challenges, curriculums, and all that stuff. Next week, I'm so excited. I'm just like ready to get into 75 hard. I'm just been ready. I didn't want to start it in February because I was really afraid of, there's one outdoor workout, and I was really afraid to start it in February or at the beginning of the year because I just did not want to be stuck in a snowstorm or a 0-degree weather having to go outside. I figured the mildest weather is March through May. It's spring and it's not too hot yet, so that's the plan. So I will get in more of the 75 hard next week. But so that's an idea. If you're wanting to give yourself a curriculum, if there's something you're interested in. I really wanted to read more classics. I want to read more poetry. I want to read, hello dog. I want to read more short stories and stuff. And money books and business books. I've been trying to really incorporate those. And also a religious book. So besides like my Bible and my devotional. So that's, I don't know. I love to give myself little mini challenges, and I'm trying to grow and learn, and I just don't want to just give up. So I'm like going hardcore now. I don't have little kids to take care of anymore. My son is home from work. I don't have little kids to take care of anymore, and I work like 9 or 10 hours a day, and then I have a second little side job that I do. It's the greeting dog, little side that I do, and then I have a extra time. I'm not taking care of little kids anymore. I'm trying to just continue to learn and grow and do all that until my boys give me grandkids, and then I will probably not push myself as hard in that because I'm going to have to spend some time with. Happy podcast day. I will see you next week, and we're going to talk about 75 hard, which I'm super excited. And probably over the next March, April, I may do like an update, one of the podcasts a month on how it's going. And then when I'm done in May, I'll do a podcast on how it went. So I'm hoping to have some muscles and also have leaned down a little bit, because I feel like that's what 75 hard is going to do. So next week, 75 hard, we're going to talk about it.